my name is Isa Imoni.
Nice.
The question is, I've worked with
Sorry.
for our policy feature whereby the service we are offering is not comparable to the salary that civil and inform. So in that situation, what do we have to do?
Okay. The salary
man is not being fair to you.
Okay.
And you give it all that you have.
So you're putting in the work,
Yes.
but you're not getting the right pay. Yes. Okay. Did you consider the work you're putting in? Is it fetching money for the company? Can you see that it's making money for the company? So you can see that. In that way, then, if you know you are good enough to stand on your own, if you know you are good enough to be appreciated somewhere else, you should go start your own. People that start their own firm do not have two heads. So if you feel you are not being compensated for the job you are doing, I think you should go start your own. I'll take one more question. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Mohammed Yusuf. My question is, as an administrator, you have people under you, give them instructions. So, how do you, look, you have this plan, everything's right structure. You follow people. How do you put an infrastructure in place that people come in line? Like, okay, you're supposed to have a meeting by 10 a.m. You expect everybody to sit it down around 9:45 thereabout. Then you get people coming around 11:30, 12. How do you put in place structure that makes people work with time, work with your plan and your vision, like people management?
Okay, that's a great question. I think especially in this part of the world, people management is one of the most difficult things to do, especially Nigerians. Simple, red say stop, yellow say wait, green say go. We cannot respect. Sometimes in the traffic, I feel like I'm the mumu of them all, because I'm there waiting for the red to turn green, and everybody on red is boom, 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 boom going, and I'm wondering, I been at my eye they pain me because I wear glasses. I say maybe I know they see. So people management is actually one of the most difficult thing to do. We get coconut head for this country. People don't actually listen. I'm guilty of time. I told you that earlier. What I would normally do and what I would advise you to do, if you have an appointment for 9 o'clock and you live in, let's say, Gwarimpa, and you're coming to Usetu, between Gwarimpa and Usetu is a 20 minutes drive for those that have car. What you would do is you look at the traffic, you put it on your Google map. Okay, this is where I'm going to. How long will it take me? Say it's going to take you 10 minutes. I'll say leave your house 15 minutes early. I always love that 15 minutes because you don't know what will happen on the road. You have to learn to manage time, and time is very important. Here in this part of the world, African time is now well accepted. Because if you want someone to come to an event for 4 o'clock, you will tell him 2 because you know he will not come for 2. It's a thing that is very difficult to walk around because it has now become more like a culture to us to accept African time. But it's wrong. So unfortunately, sir, what you need to do now is if you have a meeting for 9, tell them it's 6 a.m. so that you know that worst case scenario, before 9, they will all be here. So it's learning how to manage, your environment, you walk around your environment. One of the reasons why we complain a lot is because we refuse to accept that we're in a certain environment that needs certain procedure. You travel abroad, you're like, oh, when I was abroad, this thing is working this way, that one is working that way. That is the environment. Bring that same structure here, it not go work. It will not work because we are used to doing things in a certain way. So since this is what works here, you shift. You find a way to augment it so that it can work for you. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Your son? Go ahead.
Good morning, Ma.
Good morning, sir.
You've been in the political terrain as well as administrative terrain for over a decade now.
Yeah.
That is to say, you've been working with leaders and administrations. And in Nigeria, it is widely alleged our problems or ills of Nigeria is basically moving from one administration or leadership to another, cutting across various administrations and leadership. So may I ask, what's the real problem of Nigeria? Is it leadership or administration?
First of all, I'm not here to talk about politics. So just take that question out. I'm not going to talk about leadership. I can talk about administration and what I feel can work, right, in terms of administration. You know, like I initially said, administration is like raising a family. Everybody has his own style. Her own style of raising a family will be different from my own style of raising my family, right? But at the end of the day, what's the goal? Nobody wants to raise an ill-mannered child. No one. In fact, there's always a competition now. My pikin, I want to make it confess. So that's what you want. But what are you doing? What am I doing different from her is what matters. So I won't answer the political part. I just feel in administration, when you come to an office and the office already has a structure, like I believe in teamwork. Some people believe in you go and do this, you go and do this. I believe if I come into, I don't want you to carry my bag, moku waka. Give me my bag, make I carry it myself. That's the kind of person I am. So I believe everybody's style is different. My style might not suit with your style. So if someone comes into an office, for instance, if I come into TerraSkillsng now and I see that the way the GM is managing the place is not my own style, but is it working? That's the most important question. Is the style working? Is the office effective? So why would I want to change it? But when I come and say that, okay, and this is the reason why this is not working, then I want to change it. I don't know, did I answer your question? If it's not working, I would want to change it and bring my own style. I won't talk about the politics involved and the leadership. That's not why we're here. We're here to talk about administration. I always believe if something is not working, change it.
Good morning once again, ma'am. I am Joseph Okaba. As administrator, you said the salaries may not be enough. How do you put together the work, side hustle, and family as Africans? Thank you.
Thank you for that question. Family, work, and side hustle. Okay. I don't think you're in the office 24 hours, are you? And I don't think you sleep for 12 hours. Okay. Abroad, people manage 4 jobs. 4. How do they do it? As an administrator, I think the best you can be in an office is 8 to 5. Can you be in an office outside the hours? So if you're in the office outside the hours, you should get paid for it. So you can't sleep more than, as an adult, we shouldn't sleep more than 6 hours. And that's enough. It's scientifically proven that 6 hours sleep is enough for everybody. So you have from 5 to let's say 10 where you go to sleep. What do you do with that time? You're in a beer parlor watching Chelsea versus Man U. You could use that time. I'm not saying recreation is, you can have your fun, but there's always a window. So you can have your side hustle. I know people that will finish from their administration job and hop into their car on their Uber app. Is that not a side hustle? You have time. Even if that time is not there, create it. Between 5 and 10, that's how many hours? 5 hours, right? How many Uber trips can you do? While you're at work, I don't know if there are tech guys here. You are at work and you're looking at the stock or Forex or whatever it is that you do. While it doesn't stop you from doing your administration. You are buying stocks, you are buying Forex. I have a side hustle. I buy agricultural commodity when they are newly harvested, and I keep them for 2-3 months and I sell them. Do I need to be there? I just buy them, store them, And when it's time, we sell them. So there's always time, Oga. There's nothing like there's no time for side hustle. And I don't know people, in this part of the world, a lot of people are so dedicated to that Sunday. I cannot work on a Sunday. What about the Muslims that work on a Friday? They go to the office from morning till, let's say, 1. Then they go to their mosque. Some of them will still come back to the office. So if I wake up in the morning and my service is from 9 to 12, after 12, what am I doing? Going to visit friends? Yes, if there's 1 or 2 events, I can go. After the event, I can still have 2-3 hours to put into service for myself. Because you're not doing that for the office now. You're doing it for yourself. So why not put it in? Did I answer that? Okay. I'm open.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
My name is Daniel Efion.
Hi, Daniel.
I want to appreciate you for when you started. You said you don't want to use the word motivator, more cliche.
Yeah.
You used encourager. And your story really is very encouraging. I think if they were doing their work in the cyber cafe, they would appreciate it more.
Yeah.
My question, though, has to do with the follow-up to the question Mr. Mohammed asked earlier.
Yeah.
Now, as an administrator, you do have subordinates. And in Nigeria here, we don't respond to instructions except there are disciplinary measures.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk and talk and talk. Like I remember way back when I was working one time, I used to come very late. It didn't dawn on me until my boss told me, okay, like I don't want the job again. I should just pack my bag and go. And that was a reset for me. And immediately I started coming in. So as an administrator, and you have subordinates that are not obedient, what disciplinary measures can you implement to make them take action?
Yeah. That's a very good question. I just jot that down. Consequences. That's one thing we lack in this country. There are no harsh consequences to actions. But I know some strict bosses that you come late. There's a rule that says that, okay, maybe when you're 1 hour late, if your salary was 10,000 naira, you will receive 9,000 down. I think that's the best. I don't believe in being, I hear some bosses will go as far as even being insultive, abusive, and all that. No, it's simple now. We know Nigerians only work for money, so take the money away. It's that simple. So if you come to work late, of course, if you do it once, there should be a strong reason behind your coming to work late. You do it twice, you do it 3 times. If there's no consequence, you will continue doing it because you know what? There's nothing your boss can do. One thing I need to tell you guys, no matter how good you think you are, everybody is replaceable. There's someone better than you. We just need to find the person. No matter how good I think I am today, they will replace me. So if you do it once, I forgive you. 2, I query you. 3 times, your money don't go. It's that simple. There should be consequences for action. And if there are no consequences for actions, people will keep doing it over and over again. So, next please. I think I'm enjoying this session more than even talking about myself. This one is more like me now. Ask.
Good morning.
Yeah. Morning.
My name is Mr. Mordecai.
Yeah.
I want to ask, like the organization I work with, I happen to be number 1 in the office. But the challenge we face is this. There's nothing like retrain. What they do is send memo and give it again. For example, I am a graduate of mass communication. They send us, they can say, okay, where I work, you do the accounting. Something, they'll just send you the format, something that you don't even have an idea at all. And there's a timeline. Some will tell us within the next 1 hour, you send 2 hours here on your own. And note, they follow you on that people, defaulters, will not receive September salary. Now, in that kind of setting, how do you become very efficient?
Okay. So if I get your question right, you are asking when you are giving somebody else's job to do?
It's actually okay. Where I am, you are the okay. Let's say for like church setting,
Yeah.
you are the only paid person there. Others are just temporary, maybe assisting, anytime you have chance. And the job roles are actually beyond
Heavy on you.
your-
Yeah, because you mentioned training, right? Okay. I love trainings because, it's like doctors. Every day, new thing needs to be learned. So even as administrators, even if it's once every quarter, we should be retrained. New policies may come in that we need to familiarize ourselves with. I don't like when one person does everything. I'm a team worker. No matter how good I am, there should be somebody that will assist me. If not, I'll collapse. Somebody should be there to assist me. Even in, okay, only me, I draft letter. Only me, I type letter. Only me, I vet letter. There will be errors. Somebody should be there to draft letter. I'm just using letter as example. Somebody should be there to type the letter. And then somebody should be there to. That way, whatever the drafter misses, the typer will pick. Whatever the typer did not pick, the reviewer will see it. So I'm not so much of a one person do everything thing. Teamwork. Nobody knows it all. In that way, again, yes, we're all doing the job for the money. It's okay for you to take it up with the management because you might be the higher one. Then there's the owner, right? Or the boss. Oga, this thing is dawning on me. Communicate with him. Let him know that, okay, you need a hand. One more hand will help you. Anybody? I want somebody from the back to ask me a question.
Please, I think for this question you
Yeah.
just answered now. That is what I wanted to chip in. Because when I saw this topic within the weekend, I was very happy.
Yeah.
I have served in a government organization and I have also worked in a private organization. If you come to Nigeria, you will see that some private firms tend to use workers. The way they use workers, I don't understand the peanuts they are paying you. In government organizations, you will see a cleaner that comes to work in the morning, does his or her cleaning job, and whatever you are sending her, she will just cross her leg and tell you that she's done for the day, she has finished her work. But in a government organization, especially secretaries, I know why I'm saying this. You will be typing and you will be doing your job role. In fact, job roles are not specified. You will do many things as a secretary. A boss will come and say, go and buy food for me, which not supposed to be your role. So, in that case, what will you do? Is it that you are doing all those things because some people will tell you, no, Nigeria is eye service now. You do it to secure your job. If you don't do it, there is no job outside. You will see that one day you will end up being the cleaner, cleaning the toilet, or boss will go to after using the toilet, he will tell you to go and flush just because you want to secure your job or you want to maintain because there is no job outside. So in that case, how will you handle such situation? Thank you.
Okay. I like that part where you say while I'm typing, you say I should come and go and buy food. You know why? A lot of offices now are trying to make money off staff. I won't blame them because, first of all, why did they open an office for? To make money. Then now, when you got your job, you were given an employment letter. What did it say? Job description was there. It is your right. It is your right to subduely, not disrespectfully, mention what you are comfortable with and what you are not comfortable with. The same way I told him that if there are no consequences, it will continue. Like you as a staff, when you keep coming late to work and they don't query you for it, it will continue. Same you as a staff, if you don't stop certain menial jobs Not that you will stop it, because like you said, there are no jobs. So if they say go and carry pankere, you will go and carry it just because you want to keep your job. But I think it's okay for you to let your boss or your direct supervisor know what you are comfortable doing and what you are not comfortable doing. There should be, in every office, there should always be an office assistant whose work is to run those errands. It is because you allowed it. So whatever you allow is what you, from the first day you start working, they've already seen you, they've already, you want to impress, you want to show madam that you can do it. I'm very guilty of that. I want to impress so badly that even if it means me removing my own money to do it just to impress, but there's always a line that needs to be drawn. If not, that's it, you are done. Till you leave that office space, that's what you are going to be doing. So from the day you walk in, whatever you are going to accept starts from that day. If you change it that day, then you're focused. Your job line is already, your job terms have already been stated on your employment letter. Why take more roles, except you are getting paid extra for that? If you get compensated extra for taking those roles, maybe if you say buy food, you will buy for yourself too. Why not? You understand? That way, at least it saves you your lunch money. But if you say go and buy food for me as part of your secretarial work, you don't accept it. From beginning, it's not something that you go back to office now and say, oh God, I know they buy you food again, you will lose your job. Oh. It's something that you should have done from the beginning. If you are doing it already, please carry on until when you find a new job. Then when you get your new job, you now decide that, okay, well, from now henceforth, whatever is on my employment term, respectfully. Because we Nigerians, sometimes we don't know how to talk. Oh God, I bet nobody carry me come here with that. No. You don't say that. So from day one is when you determine what you are going to do for the rest of your career in that office. So I asked for someone from the back. Or are we all staff at the back?
Yes.
Okay, the back are staff. Ask me a question now. The lady that introduced me, I need you to ask me a question. So you see how the spotlight can be, right? Welcome. So anything you guys want us to talk about, I'm open. I'm open for discussion. After him. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Mohammed. Administrative consultant.
Yeah.
So my question is, if you are an entrepreneur, like you're operating on your own, how do you negotiate deals? Like you're bringing things to the table. You have to make like how the job I want to do. So how do I negotiate? Do I tell them to pay 30% upfront or 50%? Because some people, by the time you're working with like people that they have this money, like senators and stuff, corporate brands and people that have the money.
Mm-hmm.
Some people want you that you just want to you want that money. To tell you that you just do this work, you do the work, you deliver it. Then when you start following up for money, you not tell you that you're disturbing them. So how do you put the structure into it?
You're asking me based on me now, right? How I'll handle it. 70%. That's me.
Thank you.
70% in the sense that I don't think your interest should be more than 30%, except you are greedy. 70% should recover your money back. Except you are a greedy person, no, because even 30% is much. It's because we're in a risk country where there's no structure. The person that gave you job, he buy, and your money is gone. You understand? Or they call FCD can just come and demolish this place and say it's not legal, and your money is gone. So I would do 70%. 70% covers my initial investment. So the 30% will be my profit. So if it doesn't come back, at least my money is back. And Nigerians are very good at extorting. They can give you 30%, then you now go and hustle 40% to merge, to add to what you have already. If anything happens, you are losing. And that's why a lot of offices shut down. A lot of offices shut down because they've refused to implement that 70% rule. And like I said, in whatever you do, make sure you are so good that you can say, I not do. And somebody else will be there to pick you. So be good. Some people just go and learn a skill. Before they have even graduated from learning a skill, they've already started their own business already. Be so good that, those people that do all this, those tech people that do all this bank app and all that thing, do you know that the bank can't mess with them? So if they tell you that I want my money 100%, they will drop it. Because they know the services they are offering. They know that they are your neck, that if anything goes off, you are gone. The head is off. So if you are very good in what you do, then you can answer, okay, let me consider the fact that 70% will cover my initial investments, and then the 30% will always come. Yeah?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
I'm Esther.
Hi, Esther.
So now, what to ask? Aside from the time management and other things, what are those things an administrative consultant or person should know before entering or working in a company?
Okay. Time management is not even something you should know. It's something that normal on a day-to-day basis. It's part of our lifestyle, You are going to a company, like I'm coming to TerraSkill now. The first thing I would do is to go and do my initial research about the company. What have they done? Who is the CEO? How long have they been in existence? How many staff do they have? What's their staff strength? And then you see there are some, if you have certain staff that maybe in the past have been abused, some people can go on a rampage and then, put it on the internet and all that. By the time you make a bit of research, you'll find out that, oh, this company has been so abusive towards their staff. So you stay away from such company. This company has not paid salary for 10 months because I don't see anybody that has not paid. It will be on the internet. So you find out that yourself. Do your proper research before you go into it. And when a company that just opened, no experience, nothing, is offering you salary of 250,000 naira, and you jump into it, just know that within 3 months you will be out of that place. Because you don't even know, even they themselves, they just want good hands in first. Because if they are starting new, they shouldn't offer you such lucrative except they are very good. I don't know if I answer you. So research. You have to do your own research. Know about the company. Find out what they are into. How long they've been in existence. What is their pay package like? I know that one is very difficult to find because nobody will come out and say this is what they offer. But most multinationals, everything is already there. You already know how much UN will pay certain things. In fact, when they are sending the job, the salary pay is already written underneath it. So it's your duty to research the company you are going into. You've been wanting to ask me since.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
My name is David Menyama. You answered my question in course of the explanation. But let me just chip in some things that will just go through my head. I feel it is easier to work with passion when you are young, not consuming the amount of money you are being paid. But in a situation that you cater your bills, you understand, you pay your bills, you have people that you have to take care of. Putting passion where the pay is less or where you are expecting a bit of pay is something else. So I don't know how to strike a balance with that. Thank you.
I totally agree with you. It's easier when you are young. So like me now, I can't tell you anything because I started when I was very young. Nobody to pay bills, no bills on my head. I was living with someone, no rent to pay. So yes, it's easy. But where did your career start? Nobody's career starts at the age of 30 or 35. You started somewhere. What were you doing when you started? Or maybe yes, you were doing well and then you know how things could go. Things went south. It's okay to still start small and continue. If before you were living in Maitama when everything was good, go and start in Maraba. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Because the same you that got yourself to Maitama If you go back to Maraba, you will still get yourself to that same Maitama. So regardless of the, do not compromise. Do not compromise. Things are getting so expensive now that sometimes when I go out shopping, I wonder like, are you sure I can continue? Before now, I used to take peak milk. Now milk see I dey take now. Yes, I'm cutting my coat according to my size. Peak milk now is not reachable for me, but they are all milk, right? When I start having more money, I can afford peak milk, I will still go back to it. So there's nothing wrong in you cutting down just to level up later on. You know, so you can't say, okay, they are not paying you well. Do you have another alternative? You don't have another alternative, so you have to be patient. You have to still have that drive. That same drive you had coming up, you still have to put it. The only time you stop, in fact, except you are in retirement and that your retirement benefit is the same, whether you put in the drive or you don't put in the drive, it's still the same. That's when you stop having a drive. Regardless of your age, regardless of your challenges, regardless of the people you are feeding, the same drive, if not even more. And that's the more reason why you should even have more drive. Because now you have people to pay. You have school fees to pay, you have house rent to pay. So when you are done from work at 5 p.m., don't go home and go and sit down. Another very, very important thing that we need to, I'm coming to you as an elderly person or as someone with responsibility. You need people around you. Contact is very, very key, especially in Nigeria. Don't be friends with people that when you want to reach another person, there's nobody. Let's say you hear that TerraSkill is giving a contract of supply of computer. You should know somebody that knows somebody that could help you sell your market. Not go and talk to you for you. You already have the profile. What you need is a contact to get there. Or you should be comfortable enough to walk into TerraSkills and say, you know what, I can supply this computer. I've done this in the past. Motivation should always be there. People should be there to motivate you. People should be there to encourage you. People should be there to help you. So the people you have around you are very, 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 very important.
Okay. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
My name is Ada Innocent. So my question is this: administrative competency, are they strictly for administrators or for other career paths as well? And my question is born from the separative perception that from what I'm seeing, that as far as I am not an administrator, or my career path has nothing to do with administration, therefore I should not have those competencies. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know if you remember, I was talking to this lady and I said, administration is more like raising a family. Everybody, regardless of whether you are CEO or you are, well, gatesman maybe, but he still needs to have a bit of administrative skills. Because you don't know when you say, I beg, go and help me photocopy this. You don't know where you just beg. At that point, you are busy with one or two. And you need somebody to go and help you do it. And if everybody is relying on the administrator alone to do it, that will choke the organization. Where you have deadlines, for instance, let's say in a law firm, you have a case, you have like 5 cases you need to work on. And you say, okay, there's only the admin staff that will handle it. No, even you, the oga, you have to. You have to work. And management is not just a one-person thing. It's everybody. I learn to manage you. You learn how to manage me. You know, as I learn to give instruction to my subordinates, I learn to also take from them. They might not be instructing me to do something. They might be telling me about their own challenges and how what I could do to help make their challenges lesser in the office space. So yes, everybody should be an administrator. There are people that have the core skills for it, because there are some things you can't do, but the basics you should learn them. Everybody should learn the basics of administration. The guy behind you wanted to ask me a question.
name still remains Mordecai. But I've worked with an ICT firm before. Now, we were all graduates. I was serving as head officer, job, salesperson. Now, our boss then very, very into planning, very intelligent, friendly, jovial. Now, number one, as graduates, we were paid 20,000 monthly because there was no job. All of us went. But I discovered that after being employed there, I discovered that I have passion to actually do the work, and I was putting in my best. Now, we talked about contact now. That place, the CCTV is everywhere apart from the toilets. Now, the rule number one is you don't have anything to do with the customer aside the sales. If the customer gives you phone number or you connect, you are off. So, yet we have our lunch, we have breakfast, but you just know that you can't.
You don't have the window.
Continue, yes, to work in that kind of place. Since you are not to focus on the money, you are putting efforts, and you can see that future is not in view because you are tight on all sides. How do you do?
You know, you don't even take tips. You can't even take tips because the CCTV gets you. They think you are taking bribe. So that's a setting. Yeah, the reason why they were paying you low, like you said, you were doing IT, right?
No. I was already a graduate.
You were already a graduate, and you were well. I'm glad that you started small because one day you'll tell a story as well. You'll tell a story about how it was for you, and I'm sure you're already the top. You say you're the one managing the staff in your office, right?
Yeah.
So you're already up the ladder already. Exactly. So in that case, what you do is still focus on the job. Still focus on the service you are giving. Because I'm sure the service you've been giving is what brought you to where you are. So focus on the service. And another thing that I don't like that we administrators like doing is anybody that pass must drop something. I hate that. I don't like that. I will tell you when Oga is around, let me collect your number. I don't like that. Because when someone gives you money, what he has done is to tie you. You understand? He's not giving you money because he likes you. He wants something in return. You know, especially when you're working with politicians. Someone walks into the office, and when he's going, okay, use this one for pure water. As Africans, we'll just be respectful to collect it. But what they are simply doing is tying your hands. Next time when the person calls you, will you not pick the person's call? I just want to find out, is Oga around? Now, maybe Oga does not want anybody to know that he's around. But because you've collected that small peanut now, you must pick the call. You understand? So I like that fact that don't collect money when you're offering a service. Your salary is good for you, even if it's not enough. Another thing I wanted to focus on, always bringing your personal problem to your office. It's not right. Some people think because TerraSkills have employed me, when my wife borns, I have to call them and let them know, say, my wife don't born, no. They must drop money for me. We already have something for that already. I don't know what people call it. It's not welfare. Is it where you have, within you, the staff, you have cooperative. You already have that for it. Don't expect more. Don't bring your problems to your office. When I walk into my office, I leave my family out. When I walk out of my office, I leave my office. When I'm home, is my home. Whatever work I'm doing is extra for myself. Do not expect what you do not put in. So if somebody is giving you money as he's leaving the office, you can collect it too, but don't let that seem as if that is the reason why he needs to call you to get information about your office.
I'm Mrs. Angela.
Hi.
Ma, I want to know, is there any clear difference between administration and management? Don't feel that some people do interchange them, so that administration is the management.
I think they go hand in hand. If I'm wrong, somebody can correct me. Administration and management go hand in hand. Okay. Where's the mic?
I'm Samuel. Okay, I have a question. Now, you said something about passion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's this boss I was working for. Like, she likes my job, like anything I do for her, she does fully. But me, myself, I know this is not up to standard. I want you to know. But, okay, now, she just call me someone, right? It's proposal for me. I want a proposal, and I'm doing it for money, actually. But I know I can write proposal more than this. So in that situation, I was feeling like, oh, I think I will drop this job. So to cut down story short, she told me to stop. I think something happened, and I was told not to come again for a while. So lately, I thought what she will not call me again. I said, let's see I'll call someone. I've not forgotten you. I'll call you back. I'll call again. Like if I'm working for her, like she's cool with it. But me myself, I'm not really cool with that. Since I'm not cool with my job with her. So lately she called me back that she wanted me to write a proposal for her. I wrote the proposal. Oh, I didn't even. I just did it anyhow, and she was cool with it. So now in that situation, can I continue with her when I know I'm not happy with it? If she tells me to do something, I just do it, and the thing is always perfect. But I'm not really cool with it.
Okay, why are you doing it? Whenever she calls you to do it, what is the reason behind you always doing it? Is it like an obligation? Does she pay you for it?
Yeah.
You get paid for it?
Yeah.
Well paid for it? So why are you complaining? If there's no passion and money is paying you for it, then don't complain. You are doing it for the money then. And you said are you passionate about the job? So then you have to now there's something not working here. You are not passionate about the job, but you get well paid for it. Do you have something else you are passionate about that can give you money? No, I'm not done with him. You must answer that question. Do you have something else that you are passionate about that gives you money? Because in as much as I initially said, service before money, you have bills to pay. Even if you don't have family, you have cousins, you have people that you have parents. Even if they have money, you still buy gifts for them.
Okay. I noticed even after I stopped working for her, I make more money myself than when I was working for her.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I have other things I do for myself that especially money more than when I was working for her. I'm cool with it and I'm happy with it.
Then stop that one. You've answered your question already. Just you by yourself have just answered your question. Stop it. As much as you are not passionate about what you do and it gives you money, except you really need that money, then you have no business doing it. Focus on your passion that already gives you that money. If you didn't have anything you were passionate about that gives you money, then I'll say, okay, you know what, you need the money to pursue your passion. But since you already have something you are passionate for, then you have to dedicate that time in growing that thing. It's not about the money you make today. Even though tomorrow is not promised, in the back of your mind, what if tomorrow is promised? You spend your time, tomorrow is not promised, let me work for today. What if you're now given a very long life and live till 80? That's when you now know that, okay, all those years I was busy saying that, tomorrow is not promised. Tomorrow was actually promised for you.
Yeah, I introduced myself earlier as Daniel. My question is, what inspired or influenced your choice of going into administration? As one. Then two, what is the career path for someone that wants to go fully to become an administrator? Then the third one is more on a lighter note. You said in Poland you didn't speak English for like 5 years. So I believe you're very fluent in Poland.
Polish
language.
Yes.
Yeah. I would like to learn how to say how are you in Polish.
Okay, how are you in Polish is jak się masz.
Jak się masz.
Jak się masz. How are you? Okay. Yak Shemash. Yeah. Okay, so your question again is about career path. Okay. You asked me when I started. I didn't want to go into. I thought. Did I tell you guys I have a diploma in ICT? It's not your Nigerian diploma. It's a vigorous 2 years diploma where they train you to establish, not to work for somebody. If you bring a computer for me now, we knock it out, tell you which is the motherboard, remove this. I could do all that. So that was the training I got. Now Nigeria, where I come back, land me for cyber cafe. So it wasn't like as if I went into administration because that's what I wanted. That's what God had destined for me. Like right now, I used all these graphic things were my thing. That was early 2000. Imagine everything they are doing now. I already knew that in the early 2000. If I had gotten the opportunity to grow into that while I came back to Nigeria, I think I would have been maybe in a bank for the rush me now. But unfortunately, I landed into administration because that was more like a soft landing for me. That's where I started. I didn't really go to apply at the cyber cafe. I went to the Ministry of Education to, when you recently come back from abroad with a foreign certificate, you need to go and check it with them that it's actually accepted. And of course, I needed to further my studies. So for me to further my study, I need to clear that with the Ministry of Education. So it was a lady there that actually told me that while I was waiting, because I was discussing how I've been back, I don't have a job and all that. And she was like, you know what, my stars is Cyber Cafe, you can come and start there. And then it was the work I gave in that molded me into an administration. It wasn't as if it was something that I wanted to do. I don't think anybody goes to school and say, when I finish school, I want to be a secretary. No. Or I want to, be typing letters and doing photocopy for people. Nobody goes to school for that. You'll find yourself in that. You grow and you become an expert in it. And then you start branching out because administration is more like if you know how to be part of a team, you should be able to administrate. You should be able to manage. The career path. I'm looking at myself now that I've been doing this for 15 years and honestly speaking, I'll say I'm tired. Because it will get to a point where you need to branch out. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over, You need to branch out. You need to start something else. You can't be an administrator for the rest of your life. Except if you are like a top administrator, because we have CEOs of companies, they are all administrators. But your line, we're talking at our own level now. Either we are branching out to something else or we are growing to the top, becoming CEOs one day, managing directors one day, chief executives here and there. So that's the career path for administrators. But those are few. But mostly after 10, 15 years of doing it, most people branch out. Most people go to start their own company. That side hustle you've been doing, you see that, that side hustle, I could actually grow it myself and start, employing and managing my own office for myself. So I think that's it. So 2 ways. Either you branch out, start your own firm, or you are lucky to be part of the people that will go on and become managing directors, CEOs, and thereabouts. Next person, please.
Good morning once again, Ma. I'm Mr.
Hi.
So the first question was never what you wanted to hear. Let me deviate from that now.
Okay.
I've worked in an organization as operations manager, but the flow of communication, it was the rice mill actually. The flow of communication has always been interrupted by the CEO of the rice mill. I'll give instruction. Okay, I'll say perhaps in the rice mill, let me use some knowledge. I'll say, okay, that will about 15 tons before move. I'll give that instruction and go back home. Maybe I gave that instruction around 4 or 5. So that the people doing the night shift can continue the parboiling. So when I resume the next, I can take assessment of the road. The next thing, they will call me and tell me, how, sir, Ogayachi, Akara, Yat. Meaning they should add extra 5 points.
Yeah.
But the driver cannot take this. They say, Oga says so. Okay. So consistently, it was thwarting my effort. I was coming from the rice milling background, but he was coming from the banking sector. So it got to a point that I felt of not growing. You know, in management, it's carrot and stick approach. Sometimes you are soft, sometimes you go hard. So sometimes you go hard on these guys, you'll be the same person to call them and start pacifying them. So start making you look like the bad guy in the setting. So I became really not. I felt I wasn't growing. And I was doing every work, sales. So I was not doing everything. Because no growth. Because I was thinking in the rice mill industry, being an operation manager should be like the zenith of production company. But I was just there, I was not learning new things. Because they wouldn't take you for training. So now we are out of production and I'm not hoping so bad. So in that case, what would you advise?
In any way you are not growing, leave. Anywhere you are not growing, leave. Remember when he asked about not having passion but getting paid for it? There was two options. You have passion for something, it's giving you money, go for that one. Because as much as we want to multitask and have everything going on smoothly and all that, growth is very important. You should always have a story to tell. If I didn't have a story to tell, I won't be here trying to encourage you. My growth level, was small. It was bits, but it was growing, right? Training is very important as well. If you are not being trained, if you are not growing, why stay there? Because of the salary. I'm sure that's not the only rice mill there, right? Can't you go and open your own by yourself? With capital. Thank God that then, what's their name? Nisal has something for rice people. You heard about it, right?
May I speak on that?
No. But don't speak on that. We are being formal now, right? They have something like that, right? We're not going to talk about the Nigerian factor because I know that's where you want to go. So I'm glad they have that. I'm just giving you in a system that works. Because we're talking about systems that work here. I'm talking about administration in general. When you are not growing, move. It's a very difficult and tough decision, especially when you have mouth to feed, especially when you have people that are dependent on you. But someone once told me that if you do not move, you will never grow. And movement sometimes is not sometimes even as you are growing, when it's easy, you are growing, sometimes change is good for you. Some people don't move because they are comfortable where they are. At the end of the month, salary will come in and all that. Do you know that if you risk it and take that loan and go and open that your own DCU, it's going to be hell the first 1 year. But by the time you get it, that's it, you're done. So I would advise you move. Where you're not growing, move. So what can we talk about again? I'm open for discussion. After him, yeah.
I will attempt to contribute on your question earlier, management, administration,
yes.
Difference, or
yeah.
whatever. I feel that management is used mostly in private organizations, whereas administration goes with public or civil service.
No.
That's my thinking.
No. That's not it. Management and administration go hand in hand. You can't separate them. No, a private sector needs the administration more than even the public. The public also need management. You understand? So they are not separated, they are together. They work hand in hand. I want you to ask me a question. You've been contributing silently since. I need you to ask me a question.
Okay, my question is,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
my question is, as an administrative personnel,
Yeah.
for your own business or your company you work with,
Yeah.
how do you foster partnership with other brands? What are the principles behind partnership and collaboration? Like seeking sponsorship, partnership, like what are the principles like behind it as an administrative personnel? How do you go about it?
How do you go about
Partnership.
partnership?
Yeah, for the organization you work with.
But that's a total different topic. Partnership,
Okay,
that belongs to a different department.
Okay.
We administrators, we are inside. We are not partnering with people.
Okay.
You understand? Let the partnership go and bring them to us so that we administer to them. That's the way me I understand it too. So if somebody else. Anyway, guys, my time is actually up. I just want to, like I said earlier, encourage that it's not always that easy, but starting small is very, very important. I'm open to encourage and empower one person here. So if you could pitch something to me that could make me take you personally to encourage and empower, and if you allow me to mentor you, I'm open for that. So one person. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Thank you for putting me under the bus. Okay. Thank you. Say that again. Oh, okay.